In 2007, Apple changed everything with the iPhone, revolutionizing the way we use our phones forever. At that time, Samsung was still making phones with keyboards. 3 years later, Samsung released the Galaxy S, and the race for smartphone dominance began. 15 years later, the battle still rages on, stronger, smarter, and more intense than ever. This is iPhone versus Samsung Galaxy S. Before there was a rivalry, there was a gamble. In 2007, Apple shocked the world with a phone that had no keyboard, just a screen and one button. At $499, it was pricey, but it felt like magic, and within months, every other phone felt old. Samsung was far behind, selling QWERTY phones like the SGH i600, a Windows mobile device that looked more like a BlackBerry than the future. Apple kept moving fast. In 2008, the iPhone 3G brought faster internet, GPS, and most importantly, the App Store. At launch, it had 500 apps, but it changed everything. Suddenly, your phone could do much more, and thousands of apps were quickly on the way. A year later, the iPhone 3GS doubled the speed, added video recording, and sold over 1 million units in its first weekend. Samsung tried to catch up with the Omnia, a Windows mobile touchscreen phone, but it felt clunky next to the iPhone. Then came 2010. Apple unveiled the iPhone 4 with a stunning glass and steel design and a Retina display so sharp it looked like the future. By then, Apple had sold over 42 million iPhones, had around 15.7% of the global smartphone market, and was thriving, growing quickly with every new launch. Meanwhile, Samsung knew QWERTY keyboards were history. In 2009, they launched the first Samsung Galaxy, an Android-powered touchscreen phone, but it barely made a dent against the iPhone. Samsung realized they had to go big or go home. June 2010 changed everything. Samsung unleashed the first Galaxy S, its true answer to the iPhone 4, sparking one of the greatest rivalries in tech history. It packed a bigger 4-inch AMOLED display with deep blacks and vibrant colors, and a powerful 1 GHz processor. At just 9.9 millimeters, it was the thinnest smartphone in the world. It also introduced TouchWiz 3.0, Samsung's signature interface. With over 25 million units sold, the Galaxy S kickstarted Samsung's rise to smartphone dominance. But Apple wasn't slowing down. In 2011, they launched the iPhone 4S. It looked the same as the iPhone 4, but inside it had a faster A5 chip, a sharper 8-megapixel camera with 1080p video, and Apple's brand new voice assistant, Siri. Together, the iPhone 4 and 4S sold over 110 million units worldwide. The excitement was bittersweet. Just one day after the 4S was announced, Steve Jobs passed away. The man who started the iPhone revolution never got to see how far it would go. Samsung struck back with the Galaxy S2, a sleeker, faster phone with a larger 4.3-inch display, an 8-megapixel camera, and a dual-core processor. It was lighter than the iPhone 4 and a huge success, selling over 40 million units and helping Samsung pass Apple in global smartphone market share by late 2011. Then came 2012. Apple revealed the iPhone 5, the world's thinnest smartphone at just 7.6 millimeters, with a taller 4-inch display, LTE support, giving users faster mobile internet almost anywhere, and a new Lightning connector. It broke records, selling 5 million units in its first weekend. Samsung answered with the Galaxy S3, featuring a massive, for the time, 4.8-inch screen, a quad-core processor, and clever software like SmartStay that kept the screen on while you looked at it. For those who thought 4.8 inches was too big, a real concern back then, there was the Mini. Both models were a massive hit, selling 80 million units and making Samsung the #1 smartphone maker in the world. Fun fact, by the end of 2012, Apple and Samsung weren't just competitors, they were suing each other worldwide, sparking the phone wars. Apple accused Samsung of copying the iPhone's rounded corners, app grid, and overall design. In 2012, a U.S. jury awarded Apple over $1 billion, later cut to $539 million, while Samsung won cases in South Korea, Japan, and the UK. The rivalry had gone worldwide, and the battle for smartphone dominance was just getting started. With billions on the line, neither Apple nor Samsung backed down. Both doubled down on innovation. Samsung released the Galaxy S4 in 2013, packing a 5-inch Full HD display, faster processor, and futuristic features like Air Gesture and Smart Scroll. Its 13-megapixel rear camera outclassed the iPhone 5, and Samsung even launched wild spin-offs like the S4 Zoom with 10x optical zoom lens that looked more like a camera than a phone, and the smaller S4 Mini. The Galaxy S4 became the best-selling Android phone ever, with over 80 million units sold. Apple answered with the iPhone 5S, introducing Touch ID and the world's first 64-bit smartphone chip, making it twice as fast as the standard iPhone 5. Alongside it came the colorful iPhone 5C, priced cheaper than the Galaxy S4 at $549, bringing more people into the iPhone world. Then came 2014. Apple finally went big with the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, offering 4.7-inch and 5.5-inch displays, rounded edges, and a thinner, lighter aluminum body. They also introduced Apple Pay, letting users tap to pay with their phones for the first time. But some users discovered the phones could bend in their pockets, sparking the infamous BendGate scandal and endless memes. None of that slowed sales. The iPhone 6 series sold a record 222 million units, making it not just the best-selling iPhone ever, but the best-selling smartphone in history. Samsung countered with the Galaxy S5 and S5 Mini, adding water resistance, a fingerprint scanner, and the world's first heart rate sensor in a smartphone. It offered a bigger screen, double the RAM, and better cameras than the iPhone 6. But its plastic design felt cheap next to the iPhone's premium aluminum body. And despite a strong start, sales slowed. Samsung realized the next phone had to be a big step forward. So in 2015, Samsung came back strong with the Galaxy S6 and S6 Edge. The cheap plastic was gone, replaced by a premium glass and metal design. The Edge model also introduced the world's first dual curved display. Both featured a sharper Quad HD screen, faster processor, wireless charging, and Samsung Pay. But Samsung made 3 unpopular choices: no water resistance, no micro SD slot, and no removable battery. Sales hit 45 million, but Samsung still wanted more. Apple responded with the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus, which looked the same as their predecessors, but packed major upgrades. The new A9 chip made them 70% faster, cameras jumped to 12 megapixels with 4K video, and they introduced 3D Touch. Samsung fixed its mistakes in 2016 with the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. Water resistance returned, micro SD support was back, and the new dual-pixel camera offered lightning-fast autofocus and impressive low-light shots. Under the hood, the S7 had a faster processor, more RAM, and a larger battery. It paid off. The S7 won Best Smartphone of the Year and sold 55 million units. But Apple knew that if it wanted to dominate the smartphone market, one thing was holding the iPhone back for many people: price. So Apple launched the iPhone SE, a small but powerful 4-inch phone priced at $399. Later that year came the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. They were faster, water-resistant, and offered up to 256 gigabytes of storage, while the S7 topped out at just 64 gigabytes. But removing the headphone jack sparked outrage. To fill that gap, Apple introduced AirPods, marking the start of the wireless earbud era. The 7 Plus also brought a dual camera system with 2x optical zoom, making it easily the best iPhone camera yet. By the end of 2016, Apple reached a massive milestone: over 1 billion iPhones sold. For comparison, estimates suggest the entire Galaxy S line had sold around 300 million units, showing how dominant Apple had become. But both Samsung and Apple had major plans for 2017, plans that would change the smartphone world forever. 2017 marked a new era for smartphones. Samsung launched the Galaxy S8 and S8 Plus, featuring curved infinity displays with almost no bezels and a stunning new design. The physical home button was gone, replaced by a pressure-sensitive home key built into the screen. It also added face and iris recognition, and, to the relief of fans, kept the headphone jack. The S8 started at $100 more than the iPhone 7, but set a new standard for premium smartphones. Apple started the year with the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. They looked familiar, but introduced wireless charging and the new A11 Bionic chip, making them faster and more efficient. But just months later, Apple unveiled something far bolder, the iPhone X, skipping the iPhone 9 to celebrate 10 years of the iPhone. Like the Galaxy S8, it dropped the home button entirely, brought an edge-to-edge OLED display, Face ID, and a $999 starting price that shocked fans and competitors alike. In 2018, Samsung refined its design with the Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus, focusing on better cameras and smoother performance. It added stereo speakers for richer sound and introduced AR emoji to compete with Apple's Animoji, though they looked more awkward than fun. The fingerprint sensor, once awkwardly placed beside the camera, has finally moved to a better spot. The S9 also brought a dual camera setup with a new 12-megapixel telephoto lens. Apple responded with the iPhone XS, XS Max, and XR. The XS Max had Apple's biggest screen ever, while the colorful XR became the best-selling iPhone of the year thanks to its lower $749 price. Then came 2019. Samsung marked 10 years of Galaxy with the S10 lineup. The S10e was the budget pack, while the S10 and S10 Plus brought curved dynamic AMOLED displays and triple cameras with new ultra-wide lenses. The S10 5G marked Samsung's first step into the 5G era, featuring a large 6.7-inch screen, quad cameras, and a premium price tag. Apple answered with the iPhone 11 series, adding night mode, ultra-wide lenses, and on the Pro models, a triple camera system with 4K video at 60 frames per second. 2020 was a major year for both brands. Samsung kicked it off with the Galaxy S20 series, skipping from S10 to S20 to match the year. It introduced 5G for all models, smooth 120Hz displays, and 8K video recording. But to the disappointment of many fans, it also dropped the headphone jack, just like the iPhone had done years earlier. The S20 Ultra pushed boundaries as the largest Samsung Galaxy ever, featuring a 6.9-inch screen, an insane 108-megapixel camera, and 100x space zoom, showing how far phone cameras had evolved. Meanwhile, the S20 FE, or Fan Edition, offered flagship features for $699, becoming a bestseller for its value. Apple joined the 5G race with the iPhone 12 lineup, all powered by the lightning-fast A14 Bionic chip. It introduced a new ceramic shield display, claimed to be 4 times tougher than the iPhone 11's glass, and unveiled its biggest iPhone yet, the Pro Max, with a 6.7-inch screen, nearly as big as the S20 Ultra. For those who preferred something smaller, the second-generation iPhone SE arrived the same year with a 4.7-inch Retina HD display, the A13 Bionic chip, and an affordable $399 price tag. By 2021, Samsung and Apple focused less on big surprises and more on perfecting what already worked. But when Samsung unveiled the Galaxy S21 lineup, fans were not exactly thrilled. The base S21 had a plastic back, while only the S21 Plus and S21 Ultra kept glass. And in a move that annoyed many, Samsung removed both the charger and the micro SD. The S21 Ultra did impress though, with a new quad camera setup, up to 100 times the zoom, and S Pen support for the first time on a Galaxy S phone. Still, while the S20 lineup sold 38 million units, the S21 series sold only 25 million. Meanwhile, Apple launched the iPhone 13 lineup, improving battery life and performance with the A15 Bionic chip, and camera quality across all models. The Pro models were promoted as Apple's biggest camera advancement ever, introducing Cinematic Mode, which automatically shifted focus for movie-like videos. And for the first time, Apple offered a massive 1 terabyte of storage. Then came 2022. Samsung unveiled the Galaxy S22 lineup, bringing back a premium glass design and boosting night photography with a new 50-megapixel camera. With the Note series discontinued, the S22 Ultra took its place, featuring a built-in S Pen, a squared design, and a 6.8-inch AMOLED display, becoming Samsung's all-in-one powerhouse. Apple began 2022 with the third-generation iPhone SE, small in size, but big in power. It kept the 4.7-inch screen, added 5G, improved battery life, and ran on the A15 Bionic chip, offering flagship performance at a lower price. Later that year came the iPhone 14 lineup, arriving with smarter safety and camera upgrades. It introduced the Emergency SOS, letting users contact emergency services even without signal, and crash detection, which automatically called for help after a serious accident. The mini model was replaced by the larger iPhone 14 Plus, while the 14 Pro models debuted 2 standout features: the always-on display, something Samsung phones had offered for years, and the Dynamic Island, which turned the camera cutout into a small interactive control center. In 2023, Samsung went all in on performance with the Galaxy S23 series, powered globally by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for faster speeds and longer battery life. The phones were tougher too, protected by Gorilla Glass Victus 2, but the real highlight was the S23 Ultra, featuring a massive 200-megapixel main camera. Apple answered with the iPhone 15 lineup, marking a major shift by switching from Lightning to USB-C. The base models gained Dynamic Island, while the Pro and Pro Max introduced a titanium frame, a new action button, and the powerful A17 Pro chip. By 2024, Samsung launched the Galaxy S24 lineup, powered by the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in the US and Exynos 2400 elsewhere. The design stayed familiar but sleeker, featuring brighter AMOLED displays that reached up to 2600 nits for better outdoor visibility. The S24 Ultra stood out with a titanium frame and new AI-powered tools like Circle to Search, Live Translate, and AI Photo Edit, allowing users to search, translate, and edit photos instantly. Apple responded with the iPhone 16 lineup, featuring a cleaner design, built-in AI tools, and 2 new buttons: the Action button and Camera Control. Powered by the new A18 chip and 8GB of RAM, it became faster than ever. The 16 Pro Max introduced the largest iPhone screen yet at 6.9 inches, while the Pro models brought major camera upgrades with 5x telephoto zoom and 4K at 120 frames per second for ultra-smooth slow motion. By the end of 2024, the rivalry had evolved beyond hardware as AI began reshaping the world. Both brands had reached new levels of refinement, but Samsung was leading the AI race. Fun fact, both the Samsung Galaxy S and the iPhone have faced bans in certain countries. The Galaxy S was temporarily banned in the US, Germany, and the Netherlands during the intense Apple versus Samsung patent war, which ended in 2018 and cost Samsung $539 million. Years later, Apple faced its own ban when Indonesia blocked the iPhone 16 in 2024 for failing to meet the rule that 40% of its parts must be locally made. Apple's solution? A bold $1 billion factory investment to lift the ban. Samsung kicked off 2025 with the Galaxy S25 lineup, powered by the new Snapdragon 8 Elite and 12GB of RAM, making it a true powerhouse. This year, Samsung went all in on AI. Google Gemini replaced Bixby, marking its full leap into the AI era. The S25 Ultra featured slimmer bezels and a more rounded design for better comfort, while the S25 FE delivered premium features at a lower price. The real surprise was the S25 Edge, built to be ultra slim, yet packed with flagship performance. Apple fired back with the iPhone 16e, replacing the SE line as its new budget model. It packed a 6.1-inch OLED screen, the A18 chip, and Apple's first in-house 5G modem. But the spotlight came in September with the iPhone 17 series. The standard model introduced a larger 6.3-inch ProMotion display, the A19 chip, and tougher Ceramic Shield 2 glass that was 3 times more scratch resistant. It also featured an 18-megapixel front camera, supporting both vertical and the new horizontal selfies. The iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max adopted a new aluminum unibody for improved durability, upgraded Ceramic Shield protection on both sides, faster charging, and triple 48-megapixel cameras. But the biggest surprise was the iPhone Air, the thinnest iPhone ever, with the powerful A19 Pro chip, but only a single 48-megapixel main camera, a direct rival to Samsung's Galaxy S25 Edge. Trivia time: has iPhone or the Samsung Galaxy S sold more units? A. iPhone. B. Samsung Galaxy S. The answer is A. Over an insane 3 billion iPhones have been sold. For the Samsung Galaxy S, the number is unknown. But if you combine every Samsung Galaxy series, it also reaches over 3 billion. From the first iPhone to the Galaxy S25, every launch has pushed the limits of what a phone can be. They've competed, inspired, and reinvented themselves time and time again. 15 years later, one thing is certain: the evolution of this rivalry is far from over.